the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. Got Corey, Alex, and Jaimen. I got 9 holes here. Corey, what hole would you like to start with?
3.
All right, well, I have that as last week in disc golf.
Guess we're getting started early.
Yeah. Last week in disc golf, January 29th to February 4th. On Monday, 9-pin Cider Disc Golf Putting League, week 4. They had 55 players. Looks like Nick Cardone won the casual league with a 15. It's like 5 players who tied for first. So tied for 6th at 17 points, $5 each, was Ryan Jeske and Jason Gorsage. And like I said before, there's a 5-way tie for first place. They all got $25. It's Peter Lauber, Caitlin Clay, JJ Knapp, Derek Stick. Corey, you jinxed me.
You were doing so good for so long. Too many consonants.
Yeah. Stickzinski and Adam Nelson. Peter Lauber also hit the ace for the night, which was for 2 weeks because nobody hit it last week. So between his tie for first and the ace pot, he went home with $106, and they got 2 weeks left.
I will say I'm surprised and impressed at the turnout at that putting league.
Where's it at?
It's in like downtown Albany, or just in the outskirts of downtown Albany. There's a few bars over there, but they've been pulling in 50 to 60-ish people a week, right? That's what it sounds like, at least to me.
Yeah, it's usually up there. I don't remember the other numbers offhand, but 55 this week, so.
Yeah, so it's really solid.
So that's Monday. Tuesday, there was nothing as usual. Somebody needs to get a putting league on Tuesdays. Wednesday, the last day of January, Deadbeat Doubles had 5 players. Eric Stevenson and Tyler won. Also on Wednesday, Northway Winter Putting League, week 9, had 4 juniors, tie for third between Nina and Maceo. Second place was Granger, and first place went to Maddox. So overall, got Grayson in third, Maddox in second, and Granger in first. Women, they had 28 players. Also a tie for third, Emily G. and Amanda D. And a tie for first between Kat Bemis and Caitlin Clay. Overall, Kat Bemis in third with 54 points, Carly Calzada in second with 58 points, and your leader at 92 points, Caitlin Clay. Over in the men's, 83 players, 11 of which were new. Joe Riley in third with 15 points, Ryan Jeske in second with 19, and your winner for week 9, Jaimen Hume at 20 points. In the overall, third place with 124 points, Joe Riley. Second place, 128 points, Tyler Calzada. And your leader with 140 points, Jaimen Hume.
This guy's crushing it.
I'm starting to open up that lead a bit.
Yep, scratched my way back. I'm trying to build a pretty comfortable lead. I don't know why, but I suck at the math of it. So I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, all right, so like I've got a 12-point lead, but like one of those weeks is going to drop and blah, 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 blah. And I think I'm just thinking about it too much. But I would like to get a little bit more comfortable of a lead, so I'm not trying to do a bunch of math the last week like I usually am.
It's because you're a music teacher, or?
No, I just suck at thinking abstractly. Like, it just doesn't work very well. I don't know. If I have like pen and paper, I can figure it out, but
it's the long division. I know, I gotcha.
There's 3 weeks left. It drops the lowest 2. And right now, your lowest 2 are 0 and a 13, right?
Yep.
Wait, how many weeks did you say was left?
3. This is week 9, so 10, 11, and 12 left.
So yeah, what I'm looking at is if Tyler's the one behind me, he has a 0 to drop and a 11. So I'm not paying attention to that 0 to drop. I'm just dropping my 13 and his 11. I've got a 10-point lead that way. So as long as I just kind of tie him the rest of the times out, or, do decent and maybe get a couple more on that. A 10-stroke lead is already really hard to beat. It's not possible, but like if I shoot a 15 that last week and I was able to keep those 10 points, he'd have to shoot a 25, which would have been the best round of the entire year.
So attendance becomes that much more important as well, right?
Yeah. That's that first week I missed it because I had a concert, and that was the first putting league I've missed at all.
You talking like a Creed concert or like a school band concert?
6th, 7th, and 8th grade band concert.
Playing the likes of Creed?
No Creed in this concert.
No jam bands? Is that what you're saying?
No jam bands.
That would have been amazing.
We'll see what we can do for you in the spring, Corey.
A jam band-esque cover of Creed by the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders.
Yeah.
With Arms Wide Open, the 2-hour version.
Yeah. How does the season end? Is there like payouts, or like what has he done in the past, or do you know anything about that?
There's some kind of prize. I don't remember what it is. That Upper Parks Rebel bag I was using for a long time, that was the prize from one of them.
Mm.
One of them was a practice basket.
Nice.
Yep. I don't remember what it is this time. It might be a practice basket again.
You're just collecting them?
Something like that. I mean, I have plenty of practice baskets. I actually have some on loan to people. So if you need a practice basket, hit me up.
A couple aces this week, Carly Calzada, and is it Brandon Medina? I'm guessing Brandon M.
Yes, yeah, Brandon Medina. Carly's happened on the card before me, and Brandon's happened on the card after me, and I still managed to see none of them.
Moving on to Thursday, Wedge Putting League, they post like later in the week. So I'm going to be a week behind on them. So it's like 2 weeks ago in disc golf. They had a Putting League week 3 was January 26, 2024. They had 27 players. AM1, third place was Ishmael Valencia at 117 points. Kristen McDonald in second at 144 points. And your winner for AM1 was Sal Orsino at 153 points. The women's division was won by Sherry Purdy. And MPO, third place, Michael Smith at 134 points. Mitch Pipes with 138. And Matt Parslow, 167 points for Matt.
Nice.
Bridgeport Thursday handicap was a tie for first between Tyler Toburin and Dan Coughlin, both shot +1. And also on Thursday, Disc Beat Club Season 3, Week 11, quite possibly. Fourth place was Mel Gallagher, got 10 points. Sparky Spalding, third place, got 11. And there was a tie for first between Eric Struna and Dan Pupke. Both got 12.5 points, which puts your overall in fifth place with 36 points, Sparky Spalding. Fourth place, 37.5, Greg Kurt. Kevin Kroenke in third place with 43 points. Mel Gallagher in second with 46. And your leader at 50.5 points, Mark Stryker. On Friday, Groundhog Day. Beacon Putting League Week 10, Kristen McDonald came in second place with 117 points. And Zach McDonald, your winner, at 137 points. On Saturday, Bridgeport Singles League, the B pool was a tie at +1 between Manny Arias and Dan O. And the A pool was won by Dan Coughlin at a -4. Deja Vu Disc Golf, Riverside Course in Port Jervis. They did a round where, because of Groundhog Day was the day before, you get a mulligan on every hole. And Jared Blasdell shot a -11, which if you get a mulligan on every hole, you should. I don't know. Never played the course. Sunday, Long Island Sunday Dubs, ABC pairing, 22-hole layout, the opposite AWFL awful layout, par 3 blues and par 4 reds, holes 7 and 12 green.
Oh my God. You need a cheat sheet to play this league.
I've played the course and I'm not 100% sure what a lot of that means. Second place with -6, Hayden Cavalli and Jay Berger. And your winners, Brian Wisher and John Cronin, shot a -7. Cranberry Sunday handicap was Todd Springer, shot an even par to win that. Norbrook Random Dubs, Max Hunter and Carter Thorne Canellis shot a -6 to win. Panthorn Rando Dubs, Ken Gianin and Jake Furmender shot a -10. Bomber Dubs at Griffiths Park, Josh Ives and Ron British Tire shot a -6. Wedge 2024 Winter League Week 3, run by John J.P. Hafner, had 27 players at Kisco playing the shorts. Mixed Amateur 2 had a tie for second at 60 between Matt Strickrod and Paul 2. And your winner at 55, shot a 55, Mark Affeck. Women's Amateur 1, Sherry Purdy came in second and Kristen McDonald came in first. Mixed Amateur 1 was a tie for second at 55 between Jimmy O'Connell and Christopher Lucier. And your winner at 54, Chris Del Bianco. Mixed Pro Open had a tie for second at 58 between John J.P. Hafner and Logan Peters. And your winner at 49, Nick Terabithio.
Oh.
I couldn't include myself on here. I shot a 59. So, go fourth place on the. But I just did want to point out that John Hafner beat a guy who's not even 800 rated by one stroke at Kisco. Discap Sunday Tag League, CPS Whites, had a tie for second at -5 between Ryan Yadow and Kathleen Bemis. And your winner, -7. I hear it was bogey-free, Kenji Klein.
El Presidente.
Yeah. I thought about trying to check in once a month on the Discap tags, and we had a guest last week, so I didn't do it. But I thought we'd go real quick over the leaderboard for the 2024 Discap bag tag. Corey, you picked hole 3, right? It's actually 3 and 4.
Okay. That's what I picked, 3 and 4.
Yeah, well, 3 was the last week in disc golf, but tags go with it, so I put them together. And I actually spent a couple minutes figuring out who have the most rounds played. So active players should play 1 round a week, right? So I figured if you have 5 rounds and up.
Sounds legit.
All right. Couple guys with 5 rounds, Ryan Yadow and Mike Zanchelli. With 6 rounds, we got 3 players, Chris Dahl, Jason Gorsuch, and Tim Goyette. One player with 8 rounds, Brian Bickersmith, and a player with 9.
Evan Parsley.
You are correct, Evan Parsley.
I knew it. Well, I didn't know it, but
I also made the cutoff 5 because Corey has 4 rounds played. But
yeah.
Hey.
real quick look at the top 10. Jason has the 10 tag, and he's doubled all the rounds played of the rest of the top 10. He has 2 rounds to everybody else having 1 played. So Jason has the 10 tag, Sean Partee at 9, Randy Bemis at 8. The 7 tag is Jeff White. No, not Jeff. Danny White. New year, I'm sorry. The 6 tag is Tucker Kozlowski. Ryan Nelson with the 5 tag. I'll be saying that a lot this year if I'm going over the top 10. How about this? Over under for how many months before Ryan plays a tag round?
Oh man, I feel like he's gonna.
It's got to be
this.
6, right?
How many months? So are we already? We're already past 1 month, right?
Starting February 1st, we'll say.
Okay. I'll say that he plays a second tag match. We'll just go with my birthday at the end of July.
So you're basically 6 months.
I might have just said 6 months. Yep. Yeah, roundabout way.
Anybody less than that?
I mean, the easy thing is just say 1 month and then challenge him to a tag match.
You have to
That's
find
true.
him first.
Well, I was going to say you're going to go to Beacon. Maybe FDR.
I feel like he's going to hear this and then play a tag match at our next team challenge match against whoever he's playing.
That or like, doesn't he usually go to Hafner's league when it's at FDR?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to have a discount tag there.
True. I'm sure. I think Hafner has one.
Yeah.
Mm.
If
If only there was a way we could find out.
I have one.
But there's like a big list of people would be
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think he does. No, I don't see him.
I don't think I had seen him at First Track, so that makes sense.
Hmm.
I think I'd put it at 2 months.
Because that's the whole point of doing this is to egg people into playing more rounds. So I'm
Exactly.
100% fine with ragging on Ryan to get him to play more tag rounds.
Tag shaming.
Yeah, 100%.
Starting off 24, just like we finished 2023.
The 4 tag is Ryan Clare. At 3, Dave Hudson. The 2 tag, Adam Gill. And your 1 tag holder, Ethan Hatters. Corey, you just knocked out 2 holes. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm crushing it in efficiency.
All right. Going in order that you guys popped on. Alex, what do you got?
Somebody's got to be the resident Jason tonight. Let's go hole 1.
I wanted to go over the New York Team Challenge matchups.
Okay.
Who do you guys play this week?
We are playing the Saratoga Revolution, I believe. Yes, Saratoga Revolution at home, which is a benefit for us. I know when we had Tucker on, he was saying a lot of the people on Saratoga didn't get down to play Stony Kill as much. So a lot of the other teams, like the J Park team and things like that, will be very familiar with Stony Kill. So we're hoping to, work in a little bit of that home field advantage. Looking at the matchup, it's way better than it was last year. We beat Saratoga at Saratoga, I believe, last year. But they've definitely improved their roster, which is great. They're like 3-1 right now or something like that, or 2-1. They have a very good record. Yeah, I'm hoping we put up a good fight, but I'm looking at them probably winning on paper.
3-1.
3-1. Nice.
How far is the Stony Kill course to the Saratoga course?
In the range of an hour.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but somewhere around that.
Corey, who you guys got?
We have Stephen P. Wallace, Tower of Power, coming to J Park. I actually played for the first time in weeks this past weekend. Played a couple rounds at J Park, and the course is looking really good. It's going to be interesting to see how it changes over the next week, where we're not really supposed to get any rain except potentially on Friday, but this is like the time where you get like that top inch or 2 layer of the ground kind of softens up with the ground underneath that kind of frozen.
Mm.
So when that happens, it's when it gets slick, you kind of slide on the thin layer of mud on top of the frozen ground. But it's going to be in the mid 50s on Saturday. So even if the ground conditions are a little wet, if anything, the Stephen P. Wallace guys will be familiar. Seeing that their course is kind of known for being a little sloppy. So not sure what layouts we're playing yet. Most of the course is super playable. Hole 36 is still a problem. If we try to play the south layout, we might put down like an alternate teeing area. But other than that, it's going to be fun to play with Stephen P. Wallace guys. They came out in force over the weekend. I played Saturday and Sunday at J Park, and both times half their team had to have been there playing the course. So that was cool to see. I guess while we're on the topic of J Park, I'll probably have to make a Discat post about this too, but it's unfortunate that if you played at First Tracks, hole 28, the mystery kill, had a lot of water in it. So much water that you really couldn't get your disc out until the water had drained, receded, whatever you want to say. So I was hoping one or two things were going to happen. I was going to check the lost and found box, and there was going to be a plethora of discs that were pulled out of that water, or by the time I got out there and the water had dried up, or at least down to a manageable level, I could go out there and get them. Unfortunately, neither of those are the cases. And I'm assuming someone took all the discs out of that area as soon as the water was down, and they were the first ones to get to it. One of my discs included. So if you threw a disc into the mystery kill over the past month or so at J Park, then either you have a pile of discs that aren't yours, or we're not getting our disc back. So it stinks. It seems like that area in particular usually happens with that. I think I've thrown 4 discs in that area and I've never gotten one back. So with that being said, though, the water has drained and that hole is a lot more playable now. So looking forward to seeing people else coming out, and I mean, hoping that both me and my team get our first win of the season.
Jaimen, Minekill, they're playing at Central Park. Is that correct?
Yep.
Now, Minekill's 4-0. Central Park is at 2-2. What are your thoughts?
I think this is going to be one of the more challenging matches of the year, but I'm not 100% sure Jason does all the scouting. But, they won everything last year. I know that their team looks pretty different than they used to, but, Central Park, since those whole updates, I think for some of the players, they might not be as comfortable with them. And I'm mostly just speaking about myself. I played them like twice, but I don't know. I think that we stand a really good chance against them. I don't know in too much detail, but I feel pretty confident going in there and getting a couple wins for my team, but we will see. I think I've spent so much time looking forward to that neutral match that I kind of forgot about this one. So I'm like, oh, this might be harder than I thought.
The chatter has been that neutral match.
Yeah.
Corey, have you guys played Central Park?
We did. We played them last match at J Park.
I would ask if you won or lost, but I'm looking at the standings right now, so I already know the result. But what do you think of their team?
Their team is solid. Did you say you guys are playing at Central Park, Jaimen?
Yep.
Man, I don't even know who I would bet on if I had to pick.
Right, yeah.
Teams. I guess it depends, like, who shows up from the team. Like, if there's anyone that can't make it or whatever, that could be a big difference. But I kind of want to lean towards CPS with the home field advantage, but Minekill is strong, so I'll give Minekill the win by 0.5 point due to a penalty. And that penalty was Kyle being obnoxious and having a courtesy violation. So the first courtesy violation in team challenge history had to be. Yeah, 0.5 point win to Minekill. Oh, I'll make it a full point. I'll make it one full point to Minekill over Central Park.
Alex, have you guys played him yet?
I don't believe so. I believe that's our March matchup, but I'm not 100% on that.
So, Corey, I haven't looked at their roster yet, but who do you think their hidden player is? Who's the player that you run into and you go, oh shit, I didn't even know this person was real?
Damn, man. I need to see the roster now to answer that question, because I can't even think of like who's on the team.
I mean, I know they've got Tim Giardini.
Oh, yeah.
They've got Kyle. Those are two, like, just always strong players. Is Chris Dahl on their team?
Yeah,
now?
Chris Dahl is.
Okay, he stayed.
Cole Metarata.
Okay.
That's a silent killer right there. Well, I don't know if I could say I'm a silent killer, but he's pretty good as far as a name that's not as historically well known. I mean, Jake Vandelin is a crusher.
Yeah.
Jay Frey can pop off, but yeah, the top side of their roster is just strong. Dave Hudson, Kyle Hirsch, Tim Giardini, Jake Vandelin, Jay Frey, Mike Weiss, Chris Dahl.
Whew, yikes.
Yeah, that's a strong.
You keep saying names, I'm like, oh, I forgot that one was there. Oh, no.
Yeah.
But even still, then you also have the Osterlitz family, Cody Mettis, Thomas Rascona, Tyler Gannon can pop off. Now, all these guys are really good. And then for the women, they have Julia Marger and Megan Mercier and Lisa Lundquist. Like,
yeah.
Not Julia May Marger.
Julia May Marger.
Uh-oh.
Forehand surgeon.
So actually going through that list again, I take it back what I said, Pat. I'm going to say 2 points to CPS.
Ooh, all right.
Only because I didn't have the roster of Minekill next to it. I had the roster of J Park. I had to go back to a previous screenshot.
So that leaves the Wilcox Widowmakers and the Beasts of Burbine. Is that correct?
Sounds like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
4-0 versus 3-2.
I think they're playing at Wilcox. Yep, at Wilcox. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that one up to the Wilcox team.
Yeah, same.
What Corey's saying is that the highly anticipated undefeated match might not be an undefeated match when it happens.
True.
Minekill Wilcox.
We will see, yeah. There's definitely a possibility that does not happen that way.
If I could watch post-produced version of the Minekill versus CPS match, like a condensed version, like an NFL Red Zone type version, I would watch that, yeah, because that's going to be a good one.
Problem with that is you would need, a camera on every team.
On every
basically.
card, yeah.
It's Central Park. That whole place should have cameras everywhere anyways, and I know that there's at least 2 of them.
They probably don't have any film in them, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
Not in
I'm
the
pretty sure
parking
they're
lot.
running off a generator, so all you have to do is unplug the generator, and then it shuts the whole situation down.
A generator with no gas.
You ain't got no gas in it. Yeah.
All right. Anything else about Team Challenge this week?
Nope.
I know Jason's been under the weather, and coincidentally enough, Jaimen's also under the weather. It does not help that Jason and Jaimen are they two people thing, but we'll see if they're both at 100% for the weekend, because based on the list of people you're talking about, Corey, they may have their hands full.
Yeah.
I did just go through the attendance list for this Saturday, and we were traveling pretty strong.
Yeah, I saw. Ryan's playing.
Yep. Yeah, I guess this is coming out on Friday, so it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. Yeah. I'd rather be a fill-in because, get all the people who are good. I'm just not bad.
Weren't you just talking about how you barely lost a half there at Kisco?
Yeah, but that was more against him than it was for me. You know what I mean?
Sorry, we'll twist it the other way. Hafner had a great day, and you barely.
Yeah, I shot a +4 at Kisco, and I'm not patting myself on the back. I haven't played in a while. I didn't realize they moved the basket for 18 up the hill, which I like. Even with the forehand, I like it.
Yeah, that's a good hole.
Yeah, it seemed very manageable. I made 4 mistakes, maybe 5. I only feel bad about one. We started on hole 10. On hole 11, I had like an 8-footer going down the hill. My hand wasn't even warmed up yet, so I just totally airballed it. And I missed an 8-footer. But after that, I just played mediocre, and I'm fine with that. I'm very happy with my mediocrity.
Kisco is one of those courses where, like, sometimes you can just not break out of it. You're like, oh, well, everything's just going to not go well, but everything is also not going to go horribly all day.
There's a few spots where you can just get rollaways. 11 and 12 come to mind.
Yep. 11's the long one, right?
11, you're going along the ridge, kind of.
Yeah.
Don't go left 11.
Yep. You can have heinous rollaways on 11 and 12,
yeah,
14, 15, 17, 18.
I was happy with it. My only goal right now is it'd be kind of cool to get over 900, but I'm not going to sweat it that much. So that was a team challenge. That's 1, 3, and 4. Jaimen, what hole?
Let's go with 2.
2. This is a quiz. One of the things since I started this podcast, I have not paid attention to pro stuff. I used to watch like footage and keep up with who's who and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know who anybody is, but I thought a fun quiz might be, it seems, at least in my passing knowledge of professional disc golf, that a lot of players are changing sponsors. Mm-hmm. So I just thought I'd go through, we could just do it one at a time, kind of like the mid-range quiz last week. I'll name a player and you tell me who is their sponsor.
Oh, I'm going to get so slammed in this.
Well, here's the thing. I might be wrong with what I have. Kind of hoping that you guys know, like some of these, this might have been their last sponsor and they might have been re-sponsored.
Yeah.
If I knew this stuff, like if I knew who these people were, other than my 4-year-old knowledge of when I used to watch some of them on video, I probably could have crafted a really clever quiz. But instead, I just took the top 25 men and the top 10 women, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And Corey, since you sound whiny, you get to go first.
Okay. Hope it pays off for me.
And then Alex, and then Jaimen, who's still in the lead with 3 points overall. You go last.
I'm just mad that Jeff beat Corey and I.
Yeah.
Well, you notice I kind of stacked the deck with that Innova quiz. I figured he's the guest. He could have picked you, and then you guys would have been up by like 10 points going. It would have been a blowout. But
I know. I was thinking that too. I got to be a better salesman.
All right. So, Corey, I'm just going to name somebody, and you tell me who they're sponsored by.
Okay, I'm ready, Pat.
All right. Some of these are going to be slam dunks because
that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I'm going in order of top 25. This is according to UDisc back in like the end of October, which is like, I guess, the end of the year.
Oh, boy.
So Eagle McMahon, who is he sponsored by, Corey?
As of October of last year?
No. This is as of now. The list I got from October.
Oh.
Gotcha. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm like, they hit me with a trick question already?
The list of the players is old, but I went and I looked to see who their current sponsor is.
I gotcha. Okay. MVP.
You are correct. And I'm going to say you are correct when I think they're correct, but if you guys know differently, let me know. All right, Alex. Calvin Heinberg.
That would be Innova.
Jaimen, Paul Macbeth.
Discraft.
You got the boring one. I'm sorry. You know what? Let's mix it up. We'll go snake style. Jaimen, Simon Lizotte.
MVP.
You are correct.
Oh, very quickly. I've been trying the Pixels, his new signature putter. They throw just like a proxy, but they're deeper. So if you happen to be 6'10" and need a deeper putter, Alex, they're pretty sweet.
6'10". Are you shrinking, Alex?
It's going to take a lot to pull me off the pilots, but I'll definitely try him out.
All right, Alex, you got Ricky Wysocki.
Crap. He's dynamic discs now, right?
That's what I got.
Yeah. My instinct was Latitude 64, but that was the one before the last one.
Yeah.
Corey, it's a tough one, I think. Kyle Klein.
Oh, boy. Fuck. I feel like I know that he switched to Discmania.
You are correct.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he didn't switch.
He's the only one that didn't switch.
Corey again. Gannon Burr.
Oh, damn it. Oh, man, he had that disc, and it was like a meme. Oh, wait. It's coming to me. Is it Discmania?
That's what I got.
Yes. No, there was like that meme disc, or people were making memes about his disc and like what the similarities to like Eagles stamp or disc or some shit like that.
Mm.
Alex, that was a question for you.
Oh, I don't remember, to be honest.
Damn.
I just remember that like he made a bunch of posts where he like kept dropping hints towards all the different people he could be sponsored by. He'd say something about the leading edge, which is, MVP's thing, and also be talking about like dynamic opportunities or something like that.
Oh.
So yeah, he was trolling the whole player base for sure.
All right. Alex. Isaac Robinson.
I was hoping I didn't get this one. I think he's Prodigy.
That's what I got.
Hey, nice.
Jaimen. Matthew Oram.
Oh, Matt is Thought Space Athletics. Wait, shit. Matty O, my bad. That's Matt Bell. Matt Oram is West Side. Jeez, man.
You are correct.
That was a close one.
That would have been embarrassing.
Would have been worse if Matt Bell was in the top 25 because you would have given somebody else an answer. Jaimen. Bradley Williams.
Brad Williams, he is Innova through and through.
Alex. Aaron Gossage.
I think he's Discraft.
You go with that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That's what I got.
All right, nice.
Corey. Chris Dickerson.
Damn. I'm just gonna say Discraft too.
That's what I got.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he was one of the ones that made a switch.
All right. Now, this next one's your favorite, but it's going to be a tough one. Cole Ritalin.
Oh wait, it's me again. Oh damn
Yep.
it! Crap. Cole Radalin. What is he throwing? Don't think it's Innova. I don't really want to say Discraft. It's definitely not any of those meme brands like Lone Star or Food One, Clash, Discraft or Prodigy. Discraft again. Why not?
Do you know, Alex?
Pick me,
No.
pick me.
Do I have a guess? Maybe. Is he Prodigy? I don't know. I'll go with Prodigy.
Jaimen?
DGA.
Oh yeah.
All right. Alex. Nicholas Antila.
I want to say Innova, and I'm going to say Innova because I can't think of anything else.
Jaimen?
He just went back to Discmania.
You're correct. And your regular. See if you can get a clean 3 in a row. Anthony Barella.
Anthony Barella is Discraft.
Goodness, can you get 4 in a row? Because it's going backwards. James Proctor.
James Proctor is Infinite Discs.
That's not what I had. But are you?
Oh wait! Oh yeah, no, I'm wrong. But
Okay.
I know what he is now.
Alex?
James Proctor.
And I'll go back to you, Jaimen, if they guess to verify.
Okay.
I had him in fantasy for like the whole year.
And you
I
never
don't
bought any of
remember
these
what he
discs?
chose. Yeah, I never bought any of his discs. I'll have to find one. My guess is Innova.
Corey?
I can't picture any discs he throws, but I feel like the clothing he wears screams Thought Space Athletics. So my guess is TSA, Thought Space Athletics.
Is he right, Jaimen?
He is right.
That's what I got. Thought Space Athletic.
Nice.
I got Jaimen at 7, Corey at 5, Alex at 4. That's not through any kind of rounds. It's just where we're at. Corey Ellis, Alex.
I should know this one. I thought I had seen something recently. If I just keep guessing Innova, eventually it'll be right.
You know, if I did this quiz 5 years ago, you'd be doing real well, but not so much anymore.
Yeah.
We've only had 2 so far that were Innova. Just throwing it out.
Yeah.
Is that where you're going with?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to bully you into it.
Yeah. Corey Ellis. Is he Discraft? I'm going to guess Discraft.
That's what I got. All right, Corey. Joel Freeman.
Oh, I have a couple of his discs. Actually, a stack of them right there. He is Innova.
See, that's the thing, though. That's what I got, too. But you could have a stack of his Innova discs, and he could have just changed this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay, now we're going back to Corey. Ezra Robinson.
that's Prodigy.
That's what I got.
Oh, I was thinking Ezra Aderhold.
Yeah, he's Prodigy too.
Unless he switched. I don't think so.
Alex. Ezra Ader. No. Alden Harris. Alex.
Oh, he just switched. Discmania.
That's what I got. Jaimen. Kevin Jones.
He is Prodigy.
Yeah, right? All right, Jaimen. Lori Lettinen.
You had to throw in a made-up one, huh? I'm going to go with Discmania because I've never heard this person.
Alex.
Latitude 64.
You are correct. Jaimen, that was your second, right? You got Kevin Jones first?
Yep.
Okay, so Alex. Chris Clemens.
Clemonade is dynamic discs, I think.
You are correct, and that ties you with Jaimen.
I think he just changed.
Did he?
To dynamic or from something else?
From
You there? Oh, you're muted, Jaimen.
Why did that was stupid. I'm like, in the middle of my sentence, I'm like, I should probably mute myself.
No, I want to make sure that I'm right, is basically
Yeah.
what I'm asking.
I would look that up if I were you. If you look at his Facebook page, I have a feeling he's changed, but I don't want to say where he changed to, and I don't want to
That's
look it up.
fair.
Jaimen throwing the red flag. It's a Jaimen challenge.
Yep.
I'm not looking.
I just remember from previous years seeing content with dynamic disc creators.
He was with them for a long time. I think he just left. Here, I'll send you a link. I don't want to say it because then Corey has a chance to guess it.
That's fair.
To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about that when I said I'm not going to look it up. I didn't want to accidentally look up somebody else or see somebody else's.
I didn't want to look up Chris's page and then have it be 3 announcements that he liked from other people.
I didn't even think about the chance of guessing it right for him. So I should probably think, I guess.
You said dynamic?
I said dynamic. Yep.
I'm sorry, you're not correct. What do you got, Corey?
If he left dynamic, can't imagine that Discraft also picked him up. There's no way he went to one of those smaller. Innova?
Jaimen?
Discraft.
Damn it. What is Discraft doing out here in the off season?
Paying pros.
Clash is missing opportunity there. They got to make a lemonade specifically for him.
Oh, yeah, right.
And that was your first one, Corey, though, so you got another one.
Jaimen
That was
doesn't get that
Alex's.
point, right?
That was mine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So we haven't even got to Corey yet.
I don't get that point, Corey, no.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I get a score update? I don't know how Alex jumped me.
Well, Jaimen, you get that point. Yeah.
No, he cheated. He already knew the answer before he gave me it.
He didn't know he switched, though.
My feeling is, and correct me if
He
I'm
would
wrong.
have got it right.
I mean,
You're right.
Did you know the company beforehand, Jaimen?
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I'll give
Because
it
he was
to
the
you.
one that pointed it out. And that's how I felt at least.
Yeah, no, good
But,
point.
and I
man.
also think Jaimen's honest enough to be like, you know what? I knew he switched, but I didn't know for who. He would have told me. You know what I mean?
No, he always starts small.
Yeah.
And then,
No, I remember seeing the Clemonade stamped zones.
Yeah, Corey, they start with other types of quizzes.
yeah. First he's cheating here. Next thing you know, he's stealing money at the local trivia bar, paid MPO league.
Or the top rounds of 2023.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we'll give this one to you, but my eyes on you, buddy.
We looks like got enough for 4 rounds left. I got 2 more dudes and then top 10 women. Jaimen's at 9, Alex and Corey at 7.
Okay,
And so starting with Corey, we got Ben Calloway.
that's Discraft.
You are correct. Alex.
Wait, no, that was my first one.
Oh, you
Right?
get a second
Yeah,
one.
it should be Corey's second.
I might have one short. I can always look one up. Adam Hammis, Corey.
He's Discraft too.
You are correct.
Which now I'm realizing how many people in the top 25 are Discraft.
Yeah, they went on a spree when they got Paul Macbeth.
Holy shit.
I got 7 in the top 25.
Yeah.
That's it? I feel like I've said Discraft like 7 times myself.
Well, you were wrong a couple times.
Yeah. I was going to say you have.
All right. Alex, Kristen Tatar.
I think she just signed with somebody new. I can picture her disc. I'm pretty sure it's Latitude 64.
Answer is Porsche.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's what I have. Is that the new company? Who was she before?
She's always been Latitude 64.
Yeah, now that I'm saying it out loud, I think it's always been 64. I was legitimately thinking of the Porsche signing.
All right. Jaimen, Owen Scoggins.
Owen Scoggins is Innova.
Yep. And Holland Handley.
Holland Handley is Discraft.
You're correct. Alex, Haley King.
Haley King is Innova, or was Innova, so I'm going with Innova.
That's what I got. Innova. Corey, Missy Gannon.
That's a Discraft.
You are correct.
I'm just saying Discraft over and over and over again.
What about Henna Blumroos?
Oh, that's a thinker. Innova.
You are correct.
Oh, nailed it.
Alex, Evelina Salonen.
I think she's Innova. I'm going with Innova.
That's what I got. All right. Jaimen. This is a tough one. Paige Pierce.
Discraft.
All right. Ella Hansen.
Oh, it just blanked on me for a second. Ella Hansen. Is she also Discraft? I think she is. I'm going to go with Discraft on her too.
What do you got, Alex?
Damn it.
Discmania.
That's what I got.
Oh, that's right.
There's talk about her being the third crush person.
God. She's one of those people, kind of like Cole Radalin, who like I've watched them play and have no idea what they're throwing ever.
Corey.
Yeah, it should be.
It's Alex.
Me,
You're right.
Yep.
Alex, cat merch.
No, that's Corey's question, I think.
No, it's yours.
He didn't like the question, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
cat merch. I believe I'm gonna say Discraft.
Corey?
Innova.
I talked myself out of Innova.
And our final one, I got Corey and Jaimen at 12, Alex at 11. And this is Corey gets the last question.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how that happened. He was getting smoked early on. You ready, Corey?
Uh-huh.
Valerie Mandujano.
That's really hard. I don't really have any idea. Discraft.
Alex. For the three-way tie.
I don't know it. I'm gonna say Discmania.
Jaimen?
Yeah.
Dynamic discs, I think.
For the win. Dynamic disc.
Nice.
Wow. That was tight. That was good.
I felt like it wasn't sportsmanlike for me to get the last question since I started, so I threw that for Jaimen. I just didn't, I didn't expect Alex to get it wrong, too.
With the snake, you'd get first and last.
Yeah.
Would I feel more stupid by messing the snake draft part of it up or the question? Because I take that back. I did actually, I mean, the guy just drafted.
I was wondering,
I made
that
it all
sounded
up.
like revisionist history to me.
I mean, that's right? If we started with Corey, we should end with Corey.
Yeah.
If we ended with Jaimen, that means, I don't know, that would work out.
If we ended with Jaimen, that would have worked, but
Yeah,
as long as he didn't
get two.
Fine.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to cover for the fact that I fucked up the last question for the win.
Yeah, as long as it didn't stop on me, then everybody got the same number of questions.
Yeah, you could have answered it right, Alex. You know.
That would have been cool to have a three-way tie.
Almost.
All right, so 1 through 4 are out. Corey, what do you got?
6.
This was really just a comment, and I thought this was funny. But, Corey, you're familiar with Billy Mays, right?
Billy Mays here. Yep.
Billy Mays died in 2009, and I watched a commercial on MLB Network this past weekend and saw a commercial with Billy Mays for the Mighty Mend It, like an actual commercial, like on their channel.
His shit.
So, like, minimum...
Like standard definition. Yeah. I just felt the need to point that out.
The
Crazy.
Mighty Mend It.
Yeah. You put it on a boat and it won't sink kind of thing.
What is up with infomercials and snake oil? Well, this one, I wouldn't really say snake oil, but always being some type of adhesive.
It is an adhesive, yeah.
I'm going to take a grinder to the bottom of this boat and then self-tap a screen door to the bottom and then flex seal it and float it across the English Channel. It's always some type of adhesive.
Didn't Billy Mays do the Flex Seal too or no? That's a different dude. That's a different dude, right?
Yeah, it's a guy that looks... maybe that's just the look for infomercial. Like they just found the book that works to sell shit, and it's like a Billy Mays looking guy. He was an American hero. Him and the ShamWow guy.
Yeah.
I think the ShamWow guy turned out to be a criminal.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Really?
Yeah.
On an American hero.
Let's be honest. How many American heroes turn out to be criminals?
Probably all.
Yeah.
Most, if not all. All right. Well, like I said, that was a quick one. That was Corey. Alex, what do you got? We got 5, 7, 8, 9.
Lucky number 7.
This is another quick thing. I just want to make a comment. I did this a few weeks ago, but I added the podcast to YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that.
Basically, YouTube's trying to get themselves into podcasting or whatever. I had thought about it in the past about, you could do a static image and upload the audio and this and that, but that's effort. But YouTube does it for you now. They basically slap a logo on it and put it up there. For me, it's not about getting numbers or whatever. Actually, the YouTube numbers don't count towards podcast numbers. So, like, if 100 people listen to it, according to Buzzsprout, none of them count. Again, I don't really care about that. It's just another way to listen to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have had to, like, physically make a video with a static image and just upload it each week, and I wasn't going to do that. YouTube does it. I just had to put in my RSS feed. So
Nice.
I did it a few weeks ago, but I never mentioned it, so I thought I'd mention it. That was all that was.
Yeah, I think I must have been subscribed previously or something because a couple popped up for me.
Yeah, basically, it let you do as many, and I was going to just throw them all on there, but then I was like, nah, let's just do the last handful. And now I don't have to do anything. It just comes out automatically, so I don't know how many people would have an interest in listening to it on YouTube, but like I said, it's just another option.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, a few of these are really quick, so they just happen to be in a row. All right, so we got 5, 8, and 9. Jaimen.
Let's go with 9.
All right, one last relatively quick one. A couple weeks ago, Josh Wynn posted a comment on the New York Team Challenge Facebook page. Alex Hellenick posted about Gerald Lehman's Garage versus Chatham Hill Country Club in their neutral match in March at Prospect Park. Josh Wynn posted Prospects Park, the actual RNG of disc golf. And Juliet Barney commented, "Are you just throwing out letters?" And Josh said, "That's just a reference to the OG local disc golf podcast. One of those, if you know kind of things. You should check it out more in depth." And she's like, "Oh, okay, it's a secret club." And he said, "No secrets, you can listen here." And he posted a link. If I saw that, my first thought was like, who's the OG local disc golf podcast? So I clicked the link and it turns out it was the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. So I was like, okay, cool. Step one, I understand now. Then I'm like, what does the actual RNG of disc golf mean? A couple days later, my wife and I are going shopping or something, and I decide to relay this message to her. And when I say the words RNG, the first thing I think is RNGesus. And I'm like, oh, it was one of those, when I read it, I was like, I don't know, what the hell is he talking about? But when I actually said the words to her, I was like, oh, RNG. So I finally understood what it was. It just made me laugh because I was like, Juliet, I'm right there with you. I have no idea what is the secret club. I just thought it was funny.
But yeah, so Prospect is, I don't know. Is it really poke and hopey? I wouldn't even say it's poke and hopey. It's just it's been like viewed as like a ratings killer because a lot of the shorter holes and stuff. But
yeah, it feels a bit like birdie or die, but it also feels like it's really easy to not get birdies.
On a lot of the holes, you feel really bad if you didn't get the birdie on it.
Yeah, I feel like it's just not a great course for advanced and pro to be competing on in a rated event. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that though either. I like Crandall's definitely in that boat where getting a good rated round is prohibitively difficult, I'd say.
Unless you're Danny White and popped off and threw like a 1040 rated round. I feel like he kind of proves that maybe there's something more to say about that.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely possible, but like what was that? It was like
10 or 14 really or something. I forget what it was. Yeah, like 14 down maybe.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now because I want to see what it was, but that's one of those things where you're like, well, that's not something that you can rely on. Yeah, he shot 13 under for 1043. 8 under, so birdieing almost half the holes is 984 rated. That's for me looking as a pro. I'm like, that's not something I want to participate in a rated round because birdieing half the holes and still being under 1,000 rated, that's not great math for me.
It's tough to throw, however many good tee shots in a round, good enough to birdie. You can throw a lot of tee shots and they're like most of them are going to be fine. But if you're throwing a birdieable tee shot on 15 of the 18 holes, that feels like a really good day. And if you make, 75% of those putts, you're still under that 13 down number.
Yeah. It's not an indictment of Prospect Park in any way. I think Prospect is a great course. I just think that if you go play there, it's pretty apparent that the design of the course is not meant for pro players to compete on. There's not a lot of length to it or anything like that. I think that's just the nature of the course is it's meant for more intermediate rated players. I don't know. I feel like I'm defending myself, but there's nothing to defend. That's just every course has its own niche and Prospect is not quite a pro course.
I wouldn't say it's not good for tournaments, just maybe not one that's completely centered on pro play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm just reiterating and using different words that maybe said the same exact thing.
It's not to say that pros don't have fun playing that course. It's just in a competitive setting, it's tougher for them to do well with the ratings and such.
Yeah, I like playing the course. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a lot of fun, but that's that I'm not going to play a rated round there. But there are a lot of courses that are in that boat.
Would you say Kisco shorts?
I don't know. I don't think Kisco's in that same boat necessarily. Just to have some kind of guidepost stats, I'm looking at the Prospect Flex event right now, and par is 889, and every stroke is worth 12 points. I'm going to pull up the Kisco Classic from this year. All right, the spell with a K. Yeah, par at Kisco was rated 933, so 40 points higher. And every stroke was... Why the hell am I so bad at math right now? 10 points. So that 10 point is a pretty typical thing. And the fact that par is that much higher means it's a lot easier to have a decent rated round, If you can throw 2 under at Kisco and shoot 954, if you threw 2 under at Prospect, you'd almost be at 900, I think.
I don't know with leagues how it works. I looked at mine and it said 900 and I was +4. So but that could change, right?
Yeah, that's in leagues, depending on the subset of people, can really mess with that kind of thing. Yeah, that's not too far off, though. Yeah, actually, the league, it was actually better rated, I think. Par was 941. What did I say Kisco Classic was? 933?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, Corey, we got 2 holes, 5 or 8.
Yeah, let's do 8.
All right. Well, we got a topic that, I think I have a question to start. Alex, you brought up a topic about how to stay focused in backup, rain delays, dealing with slow players in general. What I wanted to ask Corey, what local course has the worst backup and what hole is the worst? As far as just backups, as far as slowing things down where you have to wait and hang out.
The worst probably has to be, it's got to be hole 12 at Heiser Creek. And maybe a close second is hole 6 at Stony Kill.
Alex, what do you think on both of those?
I definitely agree with hole 6 at Stony Kill as a rough one. I haven't played Heiser Creek yet still, so I'm not sure about that one.
Wait, what? You haven't played Heiser Creek?
I still haven't played it.
I haven't played Heiser Creek, but I'm still shocked that you haven't played Heiser Creek, Alex.
The way I end up playing disc golf a lot of the times is I'm playing with my family, and they're
not going to be volunteering Heiser Creek.
Take all of their asses up there, Alex. Get in the Potts family van, drive the hour to Heiser Creek, turn it into a day, enjoy some nature, try to not get destroyed by black flies or anything like that, and then...
All right, I've heard this story before. I'm attributing it to the fact that you guys are well aware of the fact that if a bunch of very, very tall people were found slunking around in the woods, they'd be mistaken for Sasquatch.
The rare triple or quadruple Sasquatch sighting.
It is in the middle of nowhere.
No.
Just kidding. All right. So anyways, we need to do a Hudson Valley Disc Golf podcast thing at Heiser Creek this year, guys.
Yeah,
right.
I'd be down for that.
Sounds like a plan.
Where is Heiser Creek?
The middle of nowhere.
From J Park, how far? I assume it's up north from J Park?
Hour and 15.
Yeah, it's like maybe half an hour north of CPS.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more.
No, it's about right. Yeah, 30, 35. Is it like 30 minutes west of Saratoga?
Yeah, it depends on where you're coming from, really. I mean, it's not near anything. There is an abandoned mental institution like across the road from it.
Yeah, I don't think that you would drive to Saratoga and then go over, but at least for like a reference on the map, west of Saratoga, north of Scotia, it's connected to the Amsterdam area.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a very fun course.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. But yeah, looking at the map, it's about an hour and 15 for us, and I have a hard time getting us past a half-hour trip for disc golf.
That's fair.
So, yeah, we'll make it happen eventually, one way or another.
Jaimen, what are your thoughts on what are your slow up or backup holes?
12 is certainly the most historically backed up one that I can think of, but I think we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't mention hole 36 at J Park.
Yep.
No way. Yeah, I definitely have come through when there's been a card sitting down and a card getting ready to throw.
Yeah, there's a card at the landing zone, and then there's one on the tee pad, and there's another one walking up the path. I feel like that's every single team challenge match or tournament or whatever I'm playing. There's always at least 3 cards within view of each other on that hole. That's got to count for something.
Yeah, you're right.
From my perspective, I'm going to throw in, Jaimen, what's the hole number at Gaw that always gets backed up during a tournament?
Oh, 15 and 18.
Actually, 15 might, dude, that might even be Heiser Creek hole 12.
Really?
One of those holes there, because I remember like just sitting on the ground and watching like 3 groups of people throw.
Yeah, 15 and 18. 15 is a par 3. It's got the lost disc factor on it where the woods are on the right-hand side and you're kind of trying to get over to that right, so it's very easy to lose a disc in those rocks in the woods. But 18, man, I feel like, because that fairway's got to be like 15 acres of real estate to cover.
Yeah.
And you're just watching people throw. Nobody knows when the next person is supposed to go. If you're being too cautious, it can take too long. If you're not being cautious enough, it can still take too long.
You turn it over and you end up in 15's fairway. Oh, you almost killed somebody.
Yeah.
Get away from them to finish out the hole.
Right. And then since the fairways are so freaking big, you're like screaming at the top of your lungs just to be heard. And it doesn't matter. And you're trying to throw over people. And it's
from the top to grass line, it looks like it's 6 inches. Then you get down there and it's up to your knees. And then you lost your point of reference after you just walked half a mile down the hill trying to find your disc. And then you're like, wait, was it near this chairlift pole or was it near this chairlift pole?
yeah, that hole, if played efficiently, hole 18 probably takes like half an hour.
Yeah.
So, Alex, what is it about hole 6? What is it in your opinion?
Yeah, so hole 6 and to a lesser extent hole 9 at Stony Kill are both par 4s on the front 9 of Stony Kill, which is a shorter 9 for sure. But hole 6 specifically, you've got the shortest hole on the course in hole 5 that is very often birdied even by beginner, intermediate level players. And then you've got a par 4 that is a blind shot on hole 6. So your tee shot is you're throwing, straight down, and then it goes down a little bit of a hill. And then from there, you go up to the basket. And it's really easy to get rollaways on the green. It's really easy to lose your disc off the tee. And it's very difficult to know when the card ahead of you is clear so that you can throw, especially if you have, longer arms in your group, because going for the eagle is definitely a play that you can do. And if people are on the green, obviously you're not going to want to do that. So it just all adds up to being one of the holes where people are cautious to tee off and don't really have a good way to make it any quicker. Like even with a spotter on the hole, it still tends to slow things down.
And by spotter, you mean Gene?
Yeah, Gene has been our designated spotter on that hole for the Stony Kill Scramble for a couple of years now, which I really appreciate. But even then, you'll often have one or two cards, piled up there. Actually, the first tournament I ever played, I think it was the first tournament, one of the first tournaments for sure, was States at Stony Kill. I want to say 2018, and it was raining and windy.
Bad.
And just an absolutely miserable time to be playing disc golf. And there was a big backup on 6, and then also a big backup on 9. So at any given time, there was like probably 20 people within 50 feet of each other, because 6 and 9, the tee pads are both, within 50 feet of each other. So yeah, there was just a big group hanging out, trying to stay dry, stay out of the wind. That was a rough day for sure. Hole 9 gets it a little bit because once you get past 6, 7 and 8 are both pretty short, but 6 ends up being a stopgap for it because the backup happens on 6, and then you can fly through 7 and 8 and get to 9 pretty quickly. So yeah.
And Corey, what about hole 12? What's the deal there? Is that the one you guys, didn't you say you did a photo op or something because you knew you had time?
Yeah, I forgot about that. The entire MPO field was able, there was like, 4 cards or whatever of us, but we were all able to take a picture on the tee pad. Maybe it was 3.5. I'm not sure. So hole 12 at Heiser Creek, kind of same thing as hole 6. It has hole 11 behind it, which is a super short, like 100 and something foot shot. What, Jaimen?
I'm just thinking like hole 12 has hole 11 behind it. Like, I don't know why.
I did say that with the intention of explaining why hole 11 is significant.
I'm sorry, it's not even that funny.
Hole 11 is a super short shot. It's kind of like Pinball Alley at Kisco from down there. It's short. It's a tight gap. At worst, even if you only throw it 50 feet off the tee pad, you only have another 100 feet left. Then you get to hole 12. Hole 12 is a long, I don't know what the distance is, 800 feet, say, wide fairway, downhill. You can throw it 400 or 500 feet or more. The fairway is super wide. I don't know how wide it is, but it's got to be, 800 feet wide. So you kind of have this sense of safety that you can't really find these wooded areas, but with how downhill the hole is, plus with the headwind that's normally there, the disc do some crazy shit once it elevators up into the sky and the wind takes it. So a lot of times you have people looking for errant shots. Also, hole 17 shares the fairway, or at least half the fairway, coming back through the field. So you have this like conflict of who's throwing. If you're about to throw on hole 12, you see disc coming from 17, and you have to wait. And they basically have to throw their drive and their second shots, usually before they're in a safe spot for hole 12 to throw. So between hole 11 behind it being super short, hole 12 being a difficult shot off the tee, difficult to, if you're really trying to air it out there, and then 17 basically sharing half the same fairway, it kind of can create a 4-card backup or a 3-card backup. But the tee pad is, they say tee pad, I'm convinced it's like the future foundation for another outbuilding of Morgan's, because the thing has got to be, I don't know, a 20 by 10 concrete slab. There's got a bunch of benches up there and some chairs, so it's not a bad spot to hang out, and the view is nice, especially if it's a nice day outside. But definitely top contender for biggest backup potential.
Thought it'd be interesting if I put up a poll on the website.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst backup hole in the Hudson Valley?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can get a selection. We got hole 12 at Heiser, hole 6 at Stony Kill. Which hole would you say for Camp Galway, 15 or 18?
I'd say 18 just because it's a par 5.
Fair. Do we want to throw in any other? I mean, I'm going to leave an option for people to fill in whatever they think.
Although, wait,
J36.
I've changed my mind because since it's a par 5, if you have a decent second shot, you're out of the landing zone. I'm going to say 15 because you're always within the landing zone because it's a par 3.
Yeah,
that's true.
What number comes before 15? 14.
14, I think.
Like?
14, well, it depends on the layout.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Blues 14 is a par 3 that like plays into the woods. It's kind of a left to right shot. And from the blacks, it's a par 4.
I mean, if you think they're worthy, I could put both of them. It's just or would you go 15?
Probably. I don't know. It's close for me.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I can go
15/18. Just them together.
Yeah.
Do a slash? I'll do a slash.
Yeah.
You dare me? I'll do a slash.
Yeah.
Do you think J Park 36?
I think people like having a reason to gripe about that hole. So
yeah, give it to them.
I mean, we talked about it briefly a week or two ago, right, Corey? Is that hole going to stick around, do you think?
No, I'm sure Jaimen's vote might change when the hole changes. However, it might change. But I also think that if there's any hole at J Park, there's 38 holes there. One of them's got to be a potential backup hole. And 36 is probably it. If not 36, then maybe... No, I can't even say when I've played on the par 5 in the back. Like, there's never really a backup.
Yeah.
There's a few holes I can name, but it's almost like group ahead of you dependent.
Yeah. Depending on, like, who's playing and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Almost any hole there could be a potential bet. But I think 36 is the most consistent. Like, if you're going to bet on seeing people at the tee pad somewhere, it's going to be hole 36.
Yeah, I think out of any of the holes at J Park, that's the only one where I very regularly see several. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say 18 for a second, 13, but there's always just like one card.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 36, I'm very regularly seeing 2 cards at least.
Are there any others? The only like FDR hole 4 comes to mind.
Yeah, 4 is the only thing at FDR I can think of.
But would you put that in competition with these other ones that we've mentioned?
No, I don't think I've ever seen more than 2 cards on any hole at FDR.
All right.
The other hole that I was thinking is hole 14 at Warwick.
14. Oh, with the rock
that's
ball.
The downhill?
Big downhill one.
Yeah.
Big downhill one, island green.
I hate
At least
that.
Yeah, especially if you're playing to blue.
Yeah. That's another one where wherever somebody is on the fairway, it feels like they're technically within range.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get through the trees, obviously you're probably not going to get there. But a lot of the times it can take, 2 or 3 shots to get through those trees. And if I'm standing on the tee there with a perfect drive, I could get relatively close to some of them. So, it's one of those ones where, yes, it's a par 4, but it takes a long time to be able to throw your tee shot when there's a card ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily know when they're done.
Mm.
So I'm going to put 12 Heiser Creek, 15, 18 Campgaw, 6 Stony Kill, 36 J Park, and 14 Warwick. And then if anybody wants to put other, I'll leave that open.
There's none at CTK, Jaimen?
That's what I was thinking. I don't play tournaments there.
I can only think of hole 4. Wait, is it 4 the downhill par 3?
Downhill par 3.
Like, I was trying to use that as a standard and trying to think if there was any hole at CTK that is like worse than 4.
I could see 11 being one, but like it's chunked up enough that I feel like once you're over that hill, you can throw your drive.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't say any hole at CTK. It's like 4 isn't really that bad, and I really can't think of a hole that's worse there than 4 for backup potential.
Yeah, I was trying to think of that one and Mind Kill because those are 2 of the ones that I've played more often
Mind
than
Kill.
others. I couldn't really come up with a specific hole. Like you guys are saying, it's a lot of card dependent, like who's ahead of you.
The walks are too spread out.
Yeah, but the walks definitely spread things out a little bit.
So how do you manage that, Jaimen? If you're playing in a tournament, how do you stay focused?
I try not to stay focused. If I have some time, I zone out. I'll take out my phone and play like a game of chess or something like that. I think that when I'm playing a tournament, I only have so much like good sound concentration time that I can have before my brain's just kind of spent. So the less time I spend thinking about disc golf when I'm not like in that moment disc golfing, the better.
You ever worry about getting like stiff or like on like this time of year with it being cold? Do you ever worry about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to keep like pacing around a little bit. Once I'm getting closer to teeing, like actually throwing, I'll just kind of like do some arm circles or jump up and down a little bit to get moving again. But that's about it. I try not to sit still for too long, which is, not kind of in my nature anyways.
Not even after getting rid of sugar?
Nope. I'm just anxious.
What do you do, Corey? Anything?
Yeah, I guess it's more about what I don't do, like Jaimen said. At almost any disc golf event, I know that as soon as I sit down, I'm a ticking time bomb. So, like, even like during lunch or whatever, I try not to sit down at all, because as soon as I sit down, like, I feel like my ankles, my knees, my back starts to kind of like lock up. So I try to just stay moving, not necessarily doing jumping jacks, but kind of just swinging my body around, keep my back and my hips from getting too lazy. Obviously I'm probably bullshitting with the people that I'm playing with, but probably check scores, because I don't really get affected too much by looking at the scoring app. Check up on whatever friends I have playing. Just try to stay loose. Maybe, use that time to remind myself to drink some water, because I probably haven't been drinking enough of it.
Alex, any thoughts?
I think I do the opposite of many of those things, and it does not work out for me. So, yeah, good things to think about. But yeah, a lot of the times, especially with backups, I'll start getting in my own head and thinking about, previous throws or things I should have done or shouldn't have done. And having those backups really gives me a lot of time to think about those things. And that's really not good for trying to stay in the game and play well. Like, a lot of the times I'm trying to stay in the disc golf headspace, which, like Jaimen said, I think I realized it at First Tracks this year, where we started getting into the, 21st, 22nd, 23rd holes, and I'm starting to lose focus. Like, trying to stay focused through a backup is wasting a lot of concentration time, a lot of brain energy. I think it definitely hurts my game. And the other thing is I start blaming other things. Like, I'll start blaming the card ahead of me, and I'll be like, oh, if they played a little bit quicker, I could get to my next shot quicker and I could fix whatever trash shot I just threw. Yeah, it's not the way you're supposed to do things. It doesn't help anyone to blame other people about it, for sure.
What about slow players on your card? Does that really affect you? Anybody?
Frustrates me.
Yeah. Yeah, it can certainly be frustrating, because I think we all kind of develop that rhythm of going, okay, so this person's lining up their shot, they're getting ready to go. And then at some point, you're just going to start going because you think they're done, because like instinctually, they've taken enough time in your brain.
Yep.
So you kind of got to reset yourself a bunch of times, and that can get kind of draining. But I don't know if I do this myself, but maybe something that you can do is be conscious of that and just be the last person to move. Let everybody else dictate the tempo of things, and just, if you're trying to stay kind of zoned out and not paying too much attention to what they're doing, then you can let other people dictate that, so you're not the one that's jumpy the whole time.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I tend to be a very fast player myself. A lot of it comes down to course familiarity, because, when I'm playing competitively, a lot of times I'm playing Stony Kill or CTK or Mine Kill, or courses that I've played a lot and I know what I'm doing on most of the holes. So, like, I'll walk up and I've been in this position, half a dozen times before. This is what I do in this situation. This is what I'm going to do. And I walk quickly. I get to my spot. I've been thinking about my throw the entire time other people have been doing their throws. And, I try to get my throw in and get out of there. But that doesn't translate as well to competitive play, where I'm playing with people who may or may not know the course as well, or are just, more deliberate players who take their time a little bit more. And it can definitely throw me off my rhythm. So, yeah, that's definitely something I want to work on, is taking my time and letting other people dictate the pace a little bit more.
Anything else on that?
I think I got a lot of the things that I wanted to talk about out on that.
Well, the thing I like about this is I'll put up that poll and we can always revisit this anyway. So
right.
Keep it in your head. But I did have hole 5, which is what would you like to talk about? And I actually had a couple topics. If you guys have any topics, you're more than welcome to bring them up.
I've got a real quick one.
What do you got, Alex?
I just wanted to say Kenji stepped up and claimed the monthly.
That was one of the things I was going to talk about. What are you thinking there?
I got no problems with it. I was putting off claiming it because I didn't really know where I wanted to go. And it seems like he had the same issue, so he's putting it out to everybody. It seems like Prospect Park's a front runner, but it's looking like February 11th, so the day after Team Challenge for a lot of people.
So this Sunday?
Yeah, this coming Sunday.
I thought he said CPS.
Somebody did say CPS in the comments, but I believe there was a recent one, and he wanted to stay away from it for it.
I thought it was because he shot -7
Oh.
at the Tag League Sunday.
Oh, I just pulled it up. Kenji said there was just Sunday Tag League there yesterday. It won't be CPS.
All right. Corey, how did you not know that clip was from Jeff from 4 years ago?
Because I was an idiot. No, I knew it. Well, I don't know. For some reason, I tripped myself up. Like, I listened to the episode back, and then for some reason, I thought that I missed part of it. Like, maybe it was when I know I stepped away for a couple minutes to, like, load the wood stove. I thought maybe that's when I missed it. And then I was just like, I don't know, man, it was 6 days later. I did a lot of shit since then. And then I just thought I missed something very easy.
There was a lot of posts about cars. I didn't understand half of it.
Okay, so Jeff said that he worked on like designing car door handles and some other shit for GM, and a real common problem for a lot of cars, especially as they get older, is like the door handles snap on them, and especially in the winter, they freeze up. You sit there and try to open it real hard, and then like one of the plastic like linkages breaks or something that connects it to the door lock mechanism and stuff. I feel like a lot of GM cars that happens with. So that's why I made the comment that I now have someone to blame it on whenever it happens to me next, and whatever beater I'm driving around in, because I love my beaters. And then I don't know, I just went back in the archive of the early 90s GM vehicles I've owned that were cheap beaters.
I'm right there with you. I've snapped the door handle off my car twice now. My sister actually helped me replace the other one. So shout out to her.
She's the mechanic in the Potts family? Or she's just really good at watching YouTube and following instructions and getting the job done.
She pulled it up on YouTube and was like, hey, it's like this 3-step process. And convinced me to do it myself.
Certified YouTube mechanic.
Yeah, definitely.
Jaimen, what are Rhode Island pizza strips?
Rhode Island pizza strips are something that we encountered at our Rhode Island match that threw Corey off, because it is essentially tomato pie, which hails from the Utica region.
Just with a way shittier name.
Yeah.
Pizza strips, and what do they call it before? Bakery pizza?
I don't remember, but I finally just saw some random article posted about it, and I was like, oh, this is what it was. And I sent it to Corey via the group chat just to kind of get his reaction. I don't know. I think if somebody sat Corey down and told him that tomato pie is not that great either, his whole world might crumble.
It's just funny that I never really ate it that much when I was like living in Utica. But then once I moved away, it's like try to get it whenever I can.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's Zach Reynolds from Stony Kill. I've had like arguments with him before about like hard rolls from Stewart's. He's like, why? Why do people get hard rolls from Stewart's? There's just bread. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like, it's just, what you're used to.
I will say I wish I ate more tomato pie when I was in Utica and younger, because that shit was so cheap, and you could get like a half sheet of it for a few dollars, and it would last you 2 days.
But it sounds to me like if it was called Utica Pizza Strips, you would not like it.
It'd be the best name ever. Know what I mean?
Yeah. And if it was Rhode Island tomato pie,
yeah. Oh, what pie?
Whatever name you grew up with, that's the one that's the good one.
I got to root for my team, not for the other one.
Yeah, I mean, this is 100% a parallel to it, but I have this theory going with pizza places that whatever your neighborhood pizza place was when you were growing up is your base conception for what good pizza is.
My only thing with the Rhode Island one is in the one that they had at Team Challenge, and like the pictures I've seen, the sauce looks way darker, and like they don't sprinkle as much spice and Parmesan cheese on top. So this looks a little weird. It looks kind of bland. I'm sure it doesn't taste bland, but
it tasted fine. I thought you were going to say it was cold. I was going to mention that it was in December.
Yeah. No, that shit is designed to be eaten at max room temperature.
All right. Jaimen, you had mentioned, what was it, the Syracuse Open? That added cash will be capped at $75 per player in age-protected divisions, with the remainder being split between MPO and FPO on a per-player basis.
Oh, yeah. So I saw that while I was reading through the Syracuse Open today. I just thought it was an interesting way to do it. I don't know what the TD's idea behind it was. Jason mentioned that it might help to incentivize baggers to move into MPO rather than playing age-protected divisions that they are also eligible for. I think that could be part of it, but I think you're kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater in that one.
What the
fuck?
whole
point? What?
Have you not heard that, Corey?
Just dumping babies out with bathwater? First of all, who's having an at-home bathtub birth anymore?
Who said it was the birth, Corey? You can wash your baby after they're born.
Oh, but I thought babies get washed in the sink with the dishes.
But it would still be a bath.
Water is the water that comes from bathing the...
All right, sorry, go on.
So,
Hey, man, you used the phrase, not me. You wanted a reaction.
I know, I'm regretting it. I'm not even sure I used it correctly. So I think that it's kind of defeating the purpose of having age-protected divisions. Like the whole point of having them is so that people who might not be competitive in MPO can still compete on an even ground. And I would assume part of that even ground would be having even payouts. I just think that it kind of hurts a group of people that you might only be trying to hurt one or two people, but you're really hurting everybody who's cashing in that division.
What would the alternative be? Would it just be split evenly between all the pro divisions?
Yeah, so that's what it's not doing. If it was split evenly across all the divisions, that means that MPO and FPO would get less of that money because there would be a portion of it that went to the MP40, MP50, MP60 players, or a larger portion that would go to them. So I'm always for more money going to FPO. I don't think MPO is one that is really hurting for more added cash, considering it also has, the major percentage of players in it usually.
Yeah, my concern just reading through this is if you end up with, 50 players in MPO and, 5 players in MP40, just to make round numbers, it feels like you shouldn't split the cash evenly for that. Just because it's a bigger competition to win MPO as opposed to win MP50, not even based on, skill level, but just based on number of players.
That's why it's distributed proportionally, though.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, like, when it says added evenly or whatever the phrase is, like, that's about per player, right?
Yeah.
It says the remainder being split between MPO and FPO on a per player basis.
Yeah. Added cash will be capped at 75 per player and age protect divisions. Okay. I think I misunderstood that.
Yeah.
I think I assumed that it was just, however much added cash was split evenly between each pro division.
Like if there's 4 pro divisions,
no matter how many players.
About 25%. Not 5%. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Will be capped at $75. So that tells me that the most that can go into an age-protected division is $75 per person.
But that added cash, right? Like that still doesn't include like the normal money that would be included.
Yeah. No, this is just added cash. This is only coming from that $10,000 number.
Right.
So if it's 75 per player, if there's 4 players, that's $300.
Yeah.
Of added cash. Yeah.
But the thing is that there's $10,000 in added cash.
I'd like to look at the numbers to see at what point does it hit that cap.
Yeah, I feel like it would make more sense if even there was a hypothetical like mock registration that showed like, okay, if we get 40 MPO players and this is what their added cash would be, because like what if it's just the difference between like 75 versus 90 per player, or I mean even still you're still moving the numbers around, but
yeah, I just don't particularly see the need to cap that ever. I feel like that's only a punitive thing for them.
Yeah, I think I see that. I don't think most tournaments are going to be concerned about hitting that sort of cap for age protected division. For a tournament this big, at least, it seems like it's going to attract a lot of MPO players. If I had to guess, I'd say I don't think they're going to hit that cap, but it's only a negative thing if you do hit the cap. So it feels like it's unnecessary.
Yeah. So I'm $10,000, and please check my math on this. If there was 100 pro players, that's $100 per player. Still, that's a lot. I'm trying to find that. What $75 number? It's like 134 players is $74.60. So yeah, like 133 players is when that stops being above 75. So that is a considerable number.
Even when it's cold, Jaimen's better at math than I.
No, I'm just using
last year's Syracuse Open had 61.
That's what I was trying to pull up.
65, 69, 72. Oh wait, only 72. Yeah, 72. Didn't they have caps on registration? Like as far as pro versus am? I could be completely making that up though.
I don't know. They must. I mean, there's only 143 players in the event completely.
Yeah. What'd you say the number was? 130, 170, 130 something?
At 133 players, it's $75 per player. So if you go up to 134 players, that's when it dips below 75. So
does the added cash only apply to the pro field though?
Yes. If it's added cash, it should only apply to the pro field.
Okay.
So last year, it looks like there were only 7 MP40 and MP60, 4 in MP40, 3 in MP60, as far as the age protected for the pro.
Yeah, it's really not a big field.
There were 61 in MPO, 4 in FPO. Yeah, well, I guess if it's 72 and 72, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it was cap.
Yeah, so that adds up to almost $139 per player in added cash.
And just for reference, top 25 got paid out, and 25th place, there were 2 players, they got $90 each. So that would mean you would still, because the PDGA thing is top 40%, right? So if it was the same amount of players this year, they'd get more than 90 is what you're saying.
I think so.
Yeah, because the field's so big and the payouts are so spread out, it wouldn't be a huge crazy number. But I mean, it's $64 difference.
Yeah, it's almost half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jacob Peters and Ryan Guer would be very happy.
Yeah, but also, I don't know, maybe they did this last year and I just didn't catch it, but I'm looking through the names and there's plenty of names on this list that are Masters age players playing in pro anyways. There's Dylan Reese.
Bobby Jones.
Yep. Mike Mosier, Bobby Jones, Eric Tripany. There's some more too that I saw. Mark Kistner, I think, is over 40.
Bobby Jones. Did I mention him? Bobby Jones is over 40. Kyle Hirsch, he's got to be like 52, right?
Kyle Hirsch, he's here down a few places lower than Corey Cook this one
I've been
time.
looking for him. There it is. Oh, I whooped his
you gotta
ass.
love whenever you can point out that Corey beat Kyle.
4 strokes over 3 rounds.
Did he have Lyme or something that time or no?
No.
No, he just slept in a tent for the first time in his life.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Kyle had this fear that the other campsite was going to come over and smother him in his tent. Like, he felt like vulnerable. So I think he spent a lot of the night like checking to make sure he wasn't being murdered in his sleep. or maybe I played well because one of the nights there was the faint sounds of there's a racetrack somewhere over there. So it was just loud cars in the distance the whole night. Maybe that's why I played well. Did I play well?
You say you played well. You beat him by 4 strokes and neither of you cashed.
Yeah. I mean, no, I was only 4 strokes. 4 strokes.
4 strokes off a cash.
Yeah, over 3 rounds. Listen.
Not too shabby.
This is I'm singing a different tune this year after the 2024 Syracuse Open.
All right. Thank you, Corey, Alex, and Jaimen, and sweet up. What's about it?
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, guys. So Corey, it's dependent on me actually playing tournaments or rated rounds, but you're gonna have some kind of bet. You're 965 versus my 900. What are we doing?
Naked Mile.
Now, mind you, I got to go up over 100 points to your 15, so it should be weighted.
I've peaked until Jaimen wants to give me Jaimen boot camp and whip my ass into shape and turn my all 0 days into 0 days.
Are you trying to say that 800 to 900 is easier than 950 to 965? Pshaw.
Only because I've done one of those. I haven't done the other one.
I don't know how it got. I must have. Well, I don't know how many rated rounds I played last year. So
you kind of referenced it already, and I know we've talked about it in the past. But I was sitting at my desk today at work, and I just have a bunch of random shit, like little knickknacks. And behind a couple of knickknacks I haven't looked at in a while was the trophy to that Kisco Classic when we both played MA2.
Were you only one because I had to bail out?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like you
I'm totally kidding about the only one part. It's not like I was up by 10 or anything, Corey.
Yeah, but you're throwing well. And yeah, I think you had me by 1 stroke or a couple strokes after the first round.
It wasn't too many. Yeah, it was pretty close.
Yeah, so I had like a little wooden disc with like the Kisco stamp wood burned on it, like sitting at my desk at work. So all that to say is I know what Pat can do. I've seen it firsthand.
Now I throw completely different, so it's like a whole different kettle of fishes. With me not throwing backhand, it's like my floor is not as low. I don't know about the ceiling, but with the backhand, I can blow up with the best of them. With the forehand, it's so much easier not to have a blow up hole, you know?
Well, what's important is knowing your strengths, you know? I think a lot of times blow up holes can be attributed to somebody doing something that seemed like the right idea at the time, but very clearly wasn't. I've had that experience multiple times. Usually at Maple Hill, it feels like that course has a knack for making me throw the same damn upshot all day as soon as it figures out that I can't throw it that day.
Used to be, I'd play around and there'd be one hole where I'd get double, triple bogey, maybe even 2. It just doesn't happen so much anymore. It used to happen like every round. Saying I don't care is not right because that's not fair because I'm trying. It's just I don't stress as much. I'm not worried about like, oh, I should be able to do this on this hole. No, I'm just like, you know what? All I got to do is throw it there. And then, if it works out, I'm going to have an easy shot. If not, I'll worry about it when I get there. My mindset's a lot different.
That's an important part about keeping your head above water when you're playing. That's like one of the things I constantly try to remind myself is that if I want to have a complete round that I feel good about from the beginning to end, I need to throw my shot and then accept it regardless of what happens. There's going to be plenty of time on the drive home to kick myself about all of my bad shots. But if I do it during the round, I'm doing myself a really big disservice.
Yeah.
Also, Pat, I'm wondering, and I have no idea, if everything that you're describing about being more consistent, your floor being higher, and having less blow-up holes, I'm wondering if that's causation or correlation.
Yeah, if I knew what either of those words meant, I would tell you.
So you're attributing it to causation, saying I'm not doing this anymore, so my floor is higher and I have less blow-up holes. But you've also just been playing disc golf longer.
Mm-hmm.
That might not have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Your backhand might be great, but you might be blaming stuff that happened just because you were less experienced on it.
No, absolutely. Basically, outside of 100 feet or so, I won't throw anything backhand because I haven't done it in so long. I'm not going to do it when a rated round. But even though I'm throwing it totally different with the forehand, I've been able to incorporate everything I've learned previously, even though it's a different style of throwing. That's one shot. That's your tee shot is the forehand. Everything after that is the same as when I was playing 5 years ago. I've just learned that I'm also not playing with Paul Macbeths. I used to think everybody's better than me. I don't want to look bad. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of these guys are better than me, but I could beat Jaimen on any given hole. I mean, it might only be 3 in a round of 18, but I could, you know what I mean? In theory, it's just one of those sports where you could look at one hole and not really gauge how like good somebody is. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but
I know what you're saying. You got to look at the whole round to really understand how good a player is. Exactly.
It's also about confidence. When you're hitting the first tree throwing backhand, you can lose your confidence very easily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the wood start to kind of like circle in around you.
Exactly. It's just about being consistent.
Yeah, you threw that 900 in. By all accounts, you said you didn't do anything too spectacular, right?
No. I mean, I only had one birdie.
Yeah.
Everything else was just boring-ass disc golf.
Yeah. So if you're boring as 900, I think getting to a 900 rating this year is like certainly there.
That's the other thing, too. Like, I'm not chasing scores. I was doing the scoring for the group. Now, everybody was scoring, but I was doing the, like, saying it audibly, putting them down, and then telling the order kind of stuff. And the one dude's like, it was the PDGA live scoring, and he's like, have you used that before? I was like, I think I have. He's like, you could check, like the live scoring as far as how everybody's doing. And I'm like, I don't really care. I had in my head, I was kind of like, I think I'm like 2 or 3 over, something like that, But I used to be a score whore. Like, I need to know. Like, I need to know what everybody's doing. And, like, that's going to help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it usually just adds some extra stress.
Yeah. And I understand, don't get me wrong, if I'm playing in a tournament and there's 3 holes left, it's not a bad idea to know, hey, can I lay this up kind of stuff. I'm not discounting that, but you're paying $2 plus some CTPs. So it's not like I'm trying to win money off of Corey playing with him. Really, you're just playing for a rating. So me knowing other people's scores doesn't help me in the least. So I'm not saying that I would do that in a tournament. I'm just saying in this particular case, knowing everybody else's score doesn't do me shit, Yeah. This is a league where it's all about rating. But what I'm also saying, I guess, is if I was playing a tournament, it's a different mindset. It's like the same as you change your mindset when you're playing match play. Like, I don't care if I hit this tree, but Jaimen just parked this hole. I need to get it pretty damn close. You know what I mean? Or I need to get it in kind of thing. You play differently depending on the situation. And in this situation, it only behooved me to be as relaxed as possible,
So you were out there just chilling like Bob Dylan?
Heck yeah. I mean, I don't know. If Bob Dylan, for all we know, he could be a very neurotic guy.
I'm sure he was a dickhead. I don't know. I don't know about the guy, but was he really as chilling as people tend to believe?
I don't know. That's why disc golf right now, you could do a doubles league, you could do a singles league, you could do match play. It's a great time for disc golf right now. Because even if you can only play once a week, you can pick and choose what you play in that once a week. Mm-hmm. Or if you're like Corey, if you want, you could do something different every night of the week. So
just got to do all the things.
Yeah.